What goal could you set that is so small it's almost impossible to fail? I actually read that this week and I thought, oh, I'm gonna do my next video on that topic, because what it made me remember was a video that I made, and I don't even think it's still on this channel. I think it's one of the ones I probably made private a while ago. It was about when I was sort of heavily into Slimming World and part of that community. And I believe it was like a tag video where everybody was sharing their hints and tips for getting back on track. And I remember watching them, and they was all really, really good. Things like buying a new journal, getting a meal plan done, getting a new water bottle or something so it made it more exciting again, going back to basics, like all of the good advice you would expect. And somebody had said about actually just taking it a week at a time, and in my head that a week at a time just felt like a too big a leap. Even a day at a time was a too big a leap. And I remember one of my tips was an hour, like an hour at a time. I needed to just get through every hour and like celebrate my achievements as I went. And I didn't understand anything more about it. I just knew that if I could get to like breakfast and then have a good breakfast, and that was a positive, and if I could then get to lunch and have a good lunch, and like I got double ticks for got to lunch, had something healthy and nutritious, it was a bit like that. And as I said, I didn't understand it at the time. It did, and I'm sure it would still make a big difference to me. But I didn't realise that the way it linked back in with mindset, because it's Mindset Monday, is that it's building that trust in yourself again. And I think over time, probably for most of us, we lose that trust that we have in ourselves for lots of reasons, but generally we sort of that self-belief has gone, and with everything else that's happening, with how sort of busy our lives are and how overwhelmed we are, it's just easier to wipe the slate clean and start again, which is a bit like why we always start on Monday, because it's like, oh, it's too that's it, I'll start Monday. But the idea of setting a goal so small that it's almost impossible to fail is that it's giving you every possible opportunity to succeed, because your goals are tiny, or it's like you're just taking really small incremental steps, and then every time you succeed, that then reinforces that, oh, actually I'm doing this, I can do this, it's okay, and sort of builds that safety net again. So it does also, it all still links together. That's the idea, is that you succeed because you've made it small, but then in succeeding you build up that sort of that bank of confidence around, oh, actually I can do this, I got my way through a whole day, brilliant, let's do another day. I will say that I feel like just by doing this and talking it through and sharing this side of my journey with you, I can feel that sort of wanting to get back into the losing a little bit of weight. I can feel like it's creeping back on me, which is lovely, because I think like when I'm talking, quite often I feel like I'm talking to them like my old friends from before, and part of me does feel like I'm probably letting you down. Not letting you down, but do you know what I mean? Like I've shifted, and so things are a little bit different. So whether or not it's that, but I do know that it is one of my goals, that's always a goal, is I want to get down to a bit more of a happy weight. Not super slim, just a weight where I can, especially in this hot weather, you know, I can go to the wardrobe, pick something out and just feel a bit nicer. For today's video, what I wanted to do was, by sharing that story, pose the question in what is your goal, what is something that you want to achieve. It might be weight loss, it might be something else, it might be just having a different routine. Know that, and I'm definitely going to talk about the whole goal setting thing at some point. I just want to build up to it. It's funny because when I did my training, we like learned it in parts of a jigsaw puzzle. So you learned this, and then you learned this, and then you learned this. And I was really frustrated for probably the first maybe 6 months because I didn't get it. It was like doing the jigsaw puzzle without actually having the box with the photo on. And it wasn't till towards the very end that suddenly it became clear, and then you had the picture sort of was visible, and you could see how all of the pieces fitted together. But that was the way they delivered the training. And it's funny because now I'm doing this, it feels like that's the way I'm unintentionally building this series, let's call it a series, of Mindset Mondays. This week I wanted to ask the question about what is your goal, what is that something you wanted to achieve, what's something that if you take a bit of time and think about where you are now, and having that something inside that's not quite finished, some sort of hidden desire as to, actually I've always wanted to do this, or I've always felt like I was called to do this, or actually there was a skill or something that I wanted to learn. Like, no matter what it is, I wanted to use today to say, okay, what is that? Write it down. Writing it down in your own handwriting is particularly powerful. Apparently that's got something to do with the way your brain works. Is if you see it in your own writing, it does make a difference. So have it written down somewhere. We're getting to the near enough the middle of the year. So maybe this will be, what would you like to have achieved by the end of the year? And let it be big and a little bit scary. See where your body gives you a bit of resistance, and that might be a stretch, or that feels like it's a little bit makes me feel a little bit nervous because I'm challenging myself to do something. So write that down, and then wind it all the way back and think about what's the first smallest step that you could start making in the direction of what that thing is. And if possible, or if you're comfortable to, just I would really be interested in seeing where everybody else is at, and understanding who's coming across this channel now, and whether or not you're finding these videos useful. If it's things that resonate with you, you can, when I'm speaking, you're thinking, oh yeah, that makes sense, or oh, that's how I'm feeling. Actually, like, it would be interesting to hear what you have to say. That's one of the things I have pledged to myself to do for this week, or for always really, but is to make an effort to block some time out and make sure that I'm really caught up with comments and putting little hearts. There's not that many. I will reply to any comment that's on there. But that's one of my sort of small actions. I really want to have this space and grow this space for coaching and mindset, and helping share what I know to help people that watch. So that's one of what's something small that I can commit to that I think would maybe help this channel. So yeah, so what's your big goal that you'd like to achieve by the end of 2026, because midway through the year, and what's the small step that you can take in the direction of that goal? And then we can sort of, hopefully we'll work our way through into, okay, well, you've done the first thing, how's that feeling, what's the next thing? And having a bit of a plan of action does make a difference, because your brain will have something it's focused towards, and by doing the small actions that you're achieving, it's building that self-belief and that self-confidence, and your brain will come to trust that again and then be looking for the next thing. So yeah, that's this week. I feel that's quite a lot for this week. Also, this room's suddenly getting really hot, so I can feel myself. Hopefully you're having a positive time. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.